So, it is the morning of the 28th of Trick in year 238 Shroud. Party is resting comfortably in their half-built, newly formed headquarters in the city of Ir-Okathel. Some of us have had plans for the morning when it comes to doing things, some of us did not. So, collectively, what are you guys doing with your day?
And you said it was around 10 or 11 o'clock?
No, it's like you guys went to bed at about 10 or 11 o'clock, so it's early. It's 6-ish.
Oh.
The city is waking up and starting to like the hustle and bustle of kind of that morning part of the day as everyone.
I believe everybody was planning on going and getting coffee, weren't they?
Yes, I know Dobman was on coffee.
Isn't that always the plan?
Yeah, so which considering he just left, I don't know how he could be out yet, but yeah. So there's a coffee stop to be had. You guys probably still drink for free at Jenna's place. So I mean, why wouldn't you?
I'll just get some tea.
Yeah, which.
Do you have tea?
Yeah.
Well, I got that tea from.
Yeah.
What's her nuts?
Yeah.
In
From in Calabasas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of tea. So
I'll just drink some of that.
What's her nuts?
Your
I don't know if she had a name, but
she had a name.
yeah.
Your headquarters doesn't have any amenities yet when it comes to like actual some kind of cooking area or anything. I mean, you can see like this is basically the shell structure of it. The first floor has got the basically there's enough structure to where you come off of the high wall that's in the interior courtyard, and there's a descending stair that goes down to the ground floor, which is even with the courtyard level itself. So that that's about as far as they got. They've got a little structure around it, and there's a roof-ish over the top of the first floor, but the second floor is wide open, and there's no structure in between it. I mean, and the differential in the ceiling is pretty high. That you almost feel like you could have enough room based on the height of the wall, where you could, in theory, have another floor in between if you really wanted to, but. That'll be a discussion to be had as far as when you guys sit down and talk with Penrith and talk to Xanacrest about what you want the building to look like and how it wants to function for you guys. But that being said, that's where you guys are at now. So
Reach in the back of my pack and pull out this big lizard I caught while hunting. Anybody hungry?
I could eat.
you see, basically. Everyone just kind of go. I think we're gonna. We'll go find a place.
Yeah, maybe someone will cook it up for me out in town.
I'm sure you can find a couple places. You guys have noticed since you've been back that with the rebuild and basically with the scattered army now being able to just kind of come home now that the war is over, that the city is much more populated from when you guys even left before, because everyone was still basically coming back post-battle. So the streets are properly crowded during this part of the day as everybody's hustling and bustling, and you can see the thing, and before when you guys had first arrived in Ir-Okathel, the city felt very sparsely populated because half the people were off fighting this war. Now most everybody's home, so there's plenty to do because there's still rebuilding to be done. But the city has been is coming along pretty good.
Yeah.
In the week and change or so that you guys have been gone, there's more work done than you guys thought. There's still stuff to do, like the the giant hole in the interior wall that had crumbled is under repair.
Yeah.
But it's coming along. But as far life's returning to what you would assume is a sense of normalcy down here. The market's open, and you guys can even from where you guys are, you can kind of hear the din of it getting kind of going for first thing in the morning as you guys come to kind of wake up and start moving. Yoshida makes a point of kind of excusing himself and saying he's going to go talk to Xanacrest privately. Says he'll meet up with you guys later. And Celeste is, as Dogma and Maman kind of run down from their coffee binge that they had because they pulled all-nighters at the library. And just kind of sit there and rest a little bit, but clearly they've been both researching in the library all night about anything they could find about any of the stuff that happened, like any of this war or anything that happened in the Genesis of the Gods that they might be able to figure out, and what convergence could be. And coming up mostly empty on that, and that's what kind of led Dogma's belief that maybe the next logical step is just asking an entity that might have been around when it happened, hence going to see Heartscar at some point. So Yoshida kind of excuses himself and kind of heads off, and Celeste kind of trails along with him, basically seeing if they're going to begin this test, because the sooner the better, basically, on this. And because Xanacrest wanted it to be kind of orchestrated in a certain way with the escort, and it's basically just going to be a keep walking out of the city and see how far away you get before something starts happening.
Sure.
Beyond that,
because his mask was neutered here too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The mask is seems to be. I mean, it still looks nice. It's definitely a much fancier upgrade than the previous one that he had exchanged out, but it is nowhere near the sweeping epicness that it was when you guys had teleported in here. Yeah. It is just a mask. It doesn't have this long flowing cape of shadows behind it. So yeah, the two of them got up, and Dama and Maman are just kind of contemplating if they're going to get some rest or if they're going to keep talking, but they enough where as you guys wake up they can convey the information or lack thereof that they were able to find in the library, where there is a lot of information here, but nothing specific to this to whatever convergence might mean. So, and I think they're both kind of contemplating maybe more coffee, maybe breakfast, but they're both looking pretty wary because college all nighter.
So
basically.
Don't talk to them for a while.
Well, it's just they must they put up the good front of saying no, we're good, but you can see them getting the eye bobs and the head a little bit, as caffeine will only get you so far, especially after the day you guys had already had. Because it wasn't that long ago.
It's like me when I'm driving home at night.
Yep. So, that being said, it does leave the 2/3 of you to figure out what what you want to do, or what you don't want to do, or if there's anything in particular in Ir-Okathel you guys want to do. Yeah. So.
As well, for me, I probably, I know where we left it, but probably see if Arzash is around. And
you have not seen her since you guys got back. So is that what you're gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna just ask around. See where she might be.
Going by yourself?
Probably.
All right.
I don't know anyone else that would go with, anyways.
I mean, up to you.
Yeah.
I can go with, but I got nothing I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm probably just going by myself.
Okay. If you don't want me, fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's more good. Personal than professional.
It's all good.
So, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So, and then
I mean, he wants to eat his lizard anyways.
Yeah. So you can
It's supposed to be a joke. Or in a dragon,
Yeah.
lizard.
Actually, that's one of the things they eat. So.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So you guys, I mean, you haven't run into an abundance of cows down here, as you guys have been traveling within the Underdark around Ir-Okathel. For the most part, the farms you guys did see, they had giant lizards.
Ooh.
So the meals you guys have eaten, including the spicy beef, that is a Gru favorite. You're assuming is probably made of some kind of lizard or something else that lives down here.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah. It doesn't, but that's okay. So I mean, it's that thing where nobody's batting an eye at you if you're coming in going, hey, I got this in one thing, but
it doesn't work.
yeah.
He's trying to make a fuss and failed.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Go on.
So that
Run
happened.
free.
So a little bit of asking around. It doesn't. I mean, you're who you are in this city, and Arzash is who she is in this city. So it's not like it's a.
Right.
No
Can't
one's
hide very well.
Well, she can't hide very well. She's. I mean, she was famous before this all began, being the head of the guard and orchestrator of the entire army, and nobody's like dismissing you as you come around and ask questions. Most people you run into are very happy to see you. There's still that kind of like, for some of the people, maybe some who didn't necessarily have the chance to see you before, either because they were just not around at the time or they're off fighting the war or something like that. You're getting a lot of almost kind of fanboy reaction from some people as you kind of just look around, but you get through a little bit of time and investigation, you get pointed in the general direction, and it seems like at this particular point in time in this part of the day, you almost know that a little bit of her routine is. I mean, she brought you guys. First place she brought you guys was the coffee shop, and that's kind of where you end up as you're searching around for. It doesn't take you very long to just do it, but you know like what her daily like what she's been supervising at the moment is trying to basically the rebuilding of the main wall of the interior.
Yeah.
Is kind of the project she's been on at the moment, as she kind of settles into a lesser role than she had before. But it's that thing with no war going on to orchestrate. Baruth doesn't have a whole lot to do either, so it's just kind of it's peacetime, for lack of a better. And you're getting the general sense, even as the city kind of rebuilds, everybody's still getting kind of used to that.
Yeah.
Where not everybody, you don't need a guard posted on every corner, and there's not active patrols. It's just, people are watching the wall because they're watching the wall, and that
it's a job.
Well, it's because it's the job, and it's just in general, just some people don't seem to have an idea of what to do with themselves. But a little bit of time goes by. You make your way to higher grounds, and you kind of you can see it's busy. There's still the sign in the window that says the Sacred Seven drinks here. Chen's is busy. It's a little early. People are getting their morning coffee before they go off and about on their day. So, but he's as busy as he was, if not more so, because now people are back and there's just more people in the city.
And he's famous for serving us.
And he's famous for serving you, and he's taking full advantage of it as a good businessman should. So he even kind of like as you kind of push your way, and you start to push your way, and then everybody realizes who the F you are, and there's almost like this little parting where everybody's like, no, coming through, hero of the city kind of thing, which it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, you're getting some pretty good treatment in general being in the city, but
I don't expect it, and nor am I really
and it's
used to
this kind of semi-celebrity status that you guys have here. But you see Chenth and his fairly good-sized dragonborn form, and he's got his apron on, sort of thing. But he's hauling, he's moving around. He has that thing where he notices you for a second, and then it's like that moment of realization as he's going, oh, and just kind of comes back. Just, apparently the rumors are true. You guys are back in town. Would you like a cup?
I'll just take some tea if you've got it.
Yeah, we'll figure out something. Up tea or down tea?
Up tea.
Yeah, maybe not. And you just kind of... There's just kind of like a little bit where it's just this den of talking and noise all inside here, and it just kind of comes down a little bit of a notch as you kind of in here, and it's not to the point where like the record fell off the needle and everyone's looking at you, but there's that general sense of
Hush whisper.
Is it kind of the option of the thing, and you can see kind of sitting down at like this counter that he has at his thing. There's tables off to the side and in the back, but down this kind of the front counter where there's just kind of stools to sit, you can see a very familiar white dragonborn. Just kind of and just having her morning coffee, and she's armed up for the day. She's still she's got her armor on. You can see her shield's just kind of resting at her side. Probably more ceremonial at this point than anything, but she's still going to keep it on her. Mm-hmm. And she just has this kind of almost distant staring look on her face, as if she, for whatever reason, she hasn't noticed everybody else noticing you. Mm-hmm. And a few seconds kind of go by, and you just kind of see her head kind of point up and look in your general direction, and just that kind of like a little bit of smile curls up at the edge of her face, and she just kind of gives you kind of almost like a knowing, like knowing kind of smile, like she knew you were here and was playing it cool. And she just kind of like takes a second and just kind of motions you over to kind of sit by her.
Okay, I'll get my tea and.
Yep. So you kind of get your tea into it's like okay, thing. So he's messing with the diffuser and everything, and just kind of getting like, all right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, I'll get you in a minute. Look who I'm serving. Just kind of make your way down there, and you just adjust, just very, very, very melatonin, very this thing, just kind of. And you just see her kind of get this look as the chair next to her suddenly somebody sits down in that spot and just kind of shoves him back out of the way. Just gives him a stern look, and just kind of motions you to just kind of take a seat next to her. And she just kind of sits there for a second as you come in and sit down. Mm-hmm. Just kind of looks over at you. It's good to see you.
You as well.
How have you been?
It's been a journey.
Just kind of looks around at the city and around at kind of the crowd. It's an adjustment for sure. It's strange. We spent so long on this just constant point of attention and fear, and it's gone now. And I find I don't know what to do with myself. But, I mean, no one's dying in the streets, so, I mean, I'm not complaining.
It's never a bad thing.
Just kind of gives you a look down once over. Looks like you have experienced some more adventure. Successful?
For now. There's still a long way to go.
Xenogress did summon me for something this morning. He was not specific on the details, but escort duty of some kind. I had heard that you all had arrived late last night, but I mean, I assumed you all needed rest. So.
Very much so.
But it is good to see you.
How have you been?
Honestly, bored. It's a long way from fighting off hordes of giant spiders to supervising the rebuilding of a wall. I am happy to serve, but it is different. It is very different. It's different for a lot of us, especially those who are serving outside of the city. We have many people who haven't been home in quite some time, and now that the city has been cleaned of its refuse, the bodies have been properly buried, and the city is moving on. It is strange.
I imagine.
It's we've been stuck, mired in this war for the last few years, and honestly, before that, we were mired in our, concealment and attempting to remain hidden from everything above. And now you are here. There are, I assume, elves walking about the city. A dwarf is honored hero. It's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Strange.
And there's talk of what do we do after do we begin to explore? Do we open peaceful negotiations with Meligar? It's an exciting, scary time for a completely different set of reasons than it was not that long ago. I don't know.
Better, I hope.
Better. For certain. I haven't, I don't have any fear of burying my friends as I did before. But with certain exceptions. But I don't know. It is very strange. But how have you been? How is everyone? How is the cat? Panther? Groot, yes. How is everyone?
He's doing okay. He definitely has seen his fair share of adventure being with us, and he actually ran into his master.
His master. I thought the one with the elf and the hood was his master.
This is Elsdorf's master, and it was his companion originally. And we came upon him, and Gruth entrusted Elsdorf with his care, and so has his master, so he stays with us now.
I suppose that is good to have. Because it is interesting to see in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
This animal acting with such tact and intelligence.
He definitely has helped us many times.
Yes, I remember. Well, not much, but... So.
Plus, I think he might actually be warming up to us a little bit. Finally.
Maybe. Maybe. You seem to have that effect on... I'm guessing everywhere. I mean... Just look at what happened here.
I mean, I'd like to think that for a group of people who never had seen each other before in their lives could at least try and do some good. Even with their differences.
It's kind of like looks out a little bit.
Elsoff just comes up.
Did you just stealth in and then?
I've been here the whole time. It's not Groot, it's Gru, by the way.
Yeah.
He's not a living tree.
I said Groot.
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 subtlety in the accent. Just kind of Xenocrest had talked to me about about you. Let's be honest. And what struggles you may be having when it comes to who you are. I don't want to pry, but he was not specific on the details. I think he wanted to gauge my response, having spent more time with you than most everyone else. Nothing untrustworthy or suiting. It's just he is an old dragon.
He's seen things.
He's seen many things, and he is very protective of his children. So, what seems to be the problem?
Just strange things. I don't know if it's something that I've ever really knew or thought about until I came together with this group, and now we've kind of discovered things, or at least I have, that are drawing me to question how I came to be where I am, and my past prior to my parents leaving me at a monastery's doorstep, and just signs of things that are just very strange.
Was it hard without parents? I do not, you know this, I do not know much of outside of here, because this is all most of us have known. And by our nature of it being a large city but a small community, even those who do not have parents and don't have parents in a traditional way, it is much more, you are raised by everyone. Is that the same?
Very similar, yes.
In your order?
Yeah, it was a community of people, and I never felt alone, but I always kind of felt different because it wasn't my family. But I was still very close to people there, and it was. I'll never say it was a bad experience. Growing up there, and that's all I know essentially. But recent events have come to make me realize that I would really like to know who my parents were.
But is that what really defines you, though? Who your parents were?
It might.
I've heard enough from people, other who spent time on the surface before coming here, and they talk about in the lands of men, and especially the lands of elves, lineage is an important thing to them. That your family you serve beyond yourself. And I think that there's something to that, but at the same time, there's no hierarchy here. There's no, some of us have And she kind of just points down at her hand where she used to have her tattoo, and she just kind of says, some of us have positions of power and responsibility, but there's nothing about what I used to be that couldn't be obtained by somebody else if they had the same skill set.
Indeed.
And from everything I've gleaned from that is not true elsewhere, and maybe that's this perspective you should be thinking about.
I don't think that. I guess I'm not looking for recognition or elevation of any kind. I'm just more looking for a piece to the puzzle of who I am.
I can't imagine. I mean, all I've ever known is here. So, to not have any idea, to not have that connection, I don't know. Something you should seek out. Whether that's possible, just sometimes you have to take what you can and be satisfied with that. We've all been through so much loss here, burying or losing even before the war people that would just be gone one day to the next. That there's a certain appreciation for what we have, and you kind of see her start to kind of just take a breath and take a second, as if she's trying to contemplate something. I once was looking for something, for someone who I had lost. And more than likely my search would have gotten me killed. And I still don't know. I don't know what happened to her. And I probably never will. But if I had gone off on some fool's errand quest to track down, I would not have met you. I would not have met all of you. I would not have been here. I don't... If, I just wonder what would have happened if Baruth had been in charge when you first arrived.
We may not have ever entered the city.
Certainly not the dwarf. But looking back can prevent you from looking forward. So, wherever your journey takes, I assume you will be leaving shortly.
Well, we're never anywhere for too long.
I remember that. Just kind of see her shift in her seat and kind of start to sit up and just kind of tug at her ear a little bit. I'll be right there. You can see her. She's pointing to the earring she's got on the opposite side here.
I need to get one of them.
I know, right?
We should all have
Screw these orbs. I want an earring.
Yeah,
We should find out if we can get some.
earrings are more expensive.
Yeah.
That is Anacris. I have to go. I'm glad to have seen you. if you're in the city a little bit later today, would you like to have dinner?
Oh my
Maybe.
gosh.
If we're still here, I'd love to.
If you're still here. If not, and she just kind of like starts to stand up from her thing, and it's that thing where she's somewhat at eye level when you guys are sitting down, but as you stand up, she is considerably taller than you.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not Bruce height where she's tall and big for a dragonborn, but she's still a dragonborn, so she's probably got a good foot on you.
Yeah.
But as she kind of stands up and you kind of stand up, and she just kind of gives you a kind of a just soft hug. Just kind of just
Dragonborn human relationships.
well, it's a funny place. Just kind of just not overly, but just kind of a nice hug and just kind of be good.
Same.
Starts making her way out.
I'll finish my tea. Think about what we talked about.
Mm-hmm. So, meanwhile,
Did the dwarf go to lay down?
he passed out eventually. Yes.
I'm gonna go tie his boots together.
All right, make a stealth check.
Rude.
Figure it'd be a good thing
He's
to
still
do
got like
before he
he's
gets
still
here.
got like his basically his book of notes that he's been going through.
Do I get advantage since he's so tired?
The DC might be lower.
Oh no. Oh, I can't paint worth crap. If it's not with the book teaching me, I forget all the lessons. Stealth is a +9.
Ooh.
Ooh, what is that? 17?
Yeah. Start kind of over there, and he kind of just crashed out there, and he's got like a book sitting on him, and the one of the beds that's kind of makeshift in there, and as you kind of start tugging on his thing, you see him go, "Stop it!"
What?
I rolled really high with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Disadvantage. It's 215.
Dang it.
Yeah, I know.
Nice to have him fall on his face for seeing he does when he gets here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta do it by the dice.
Yeah, that's what happened.
In the meanwhile, is his coffee out in plain sight?
Yes.
Gru's gonna attempt to steal his coffee.
Okay.
Because...
I can't remember. Gru really liked coffee, if
Yes,
I
he
remember correctly.
did. And he also has sleight of hand.
Sleight of paw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Different dice. That one didn't do
Yeah.
too well. It's a 13 with a +7 is a 20.
20. Uh-huh. That time. You seem to notice his coffee just go.
I mean, not his coffee, his bag of coffee.
Oh, his bag of coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't care about his cup. You can get free stuff at the place.
I was gonna say. Yeah. As he's kind of like, as you're kind of doing this thing with the boots, and you're just like, what? And you just over in the corner, you can see Gru's head just kind of go into his bag, and or did he have it in the bag of holding? I don't remember.
I don't remember
figure it
putting
out.
it in the bag of holding.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. First question when he comes in. Where was the coffee stored?
Yeah.
No reason.
No reason. So, for now, we'll say that Gru grabs the bag that the coffee was in out of his satchel and definitely moves to the
Nice
other
drag
side
it
of the
along.
room. I mean, it was a pound of coffee. It wasn't like a gigantic
Just having it in
sack
his
of it. 'Cause that
Was it a pound or 2 pounds? He bought a lot.
It was like, we bought a lot, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it was like that much. It wasn't like he didn't buy like a case or
Santa sack.
Yeah, a Santa sack full of coffee. It doesn't have that much coffee. My God. So that definitely happens. So
Ooh, the old bait and switch. I like it. Kind of.
but nope.
Or not the bait and switch. It would be the distraction and.
Yeah, it's distractions. So, Jay, are you doing anything else?
I am going to,
Progress.
I guess, kind
a
of
little bit.
wander the city a little bit and just kind of wait back at our headquarters for Yoshida.
Okay.
When he's done talking to Xanacrus.
And
probably
you're just
find
hanging out at HQ?
Yeah, I kind of, since with my failure of tying his boots, I'm going to go outside.
Yeah. I mean, the courtyard's the thing. The lower floor, the door goes right out into the central garden courtyard area, and from your guys' perspective, I mean, there's the trees need a little bit of work for a couple of them. There's the one you guys lit on fire and in that area, but for the most part, like, the wildlife is still there. The trees are still there. It's quite pleasant.
Okay, well, like I say, I'll go out to the park because that's
Yeah.
where I feel at home. I don't
Yeah,
like cities.
and it's just, you're in that. You guys are in that kind of green area where it's just there's trees and birds and
I will
whatnot.
call Gru over. Now. Is he already there chewing on a bag, or is he kind of like coming with a bag in his mouth, or?
He's kind of sitting there. You come over and he's just got he didn't set it down anywhere because even if you would have told him, he was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna hang on to this and maybe eat some of it or something. But it's kind of sets it down.
This wasn't direction from me. This is just something that Gru would do.
Yeah, just it's food. Or something equivalent, because it's Gru.
As I notice.
So as you kind of as you basically beckon him to come outside, he comes to the doorway, because there isn't actually a door on it yet. It's just like the cutout in the stone where it goes out into the courtyard. And you see him kind of sitting there, and he's just got the bag kind of just from there, and he just sets it down real quick, and he comes out at a meandering pace.
I'm going to walk over, grab the bag. Do I recognize it as the dwarfs?
Yeah, 100%.
Is there any dragonborns walking around?
It's that thing where you guys, because you're not near. I mean, the market's off in the distance in that other side of the quarry, but you guys are off to one side. There's not a lot of people around here. It's still fairly early in the morning, so you can see across the circle channel moat that kind of divides up the courtyard. You can see a couple of guards that are posted by the bottom of the tower. I don't like where this is going. You got too good of a grin on your face. All right, as that's happening, so that's all you can see that's around in the general areas. You can see without doing a thorough check, you don't see any other dragonborn citizens that are out in this area. But off by the actual base of the main tower in the center, you can see a couple of posted guards.
Yeah. Besides that, now I got a new thought that just kind of popped into my head.
Yeah.
Pentacrest.
Xanacrest?
Yeah.
Penrith or Xanacrest?
Penrith.
Okay, you kind of did it both on
I did both. Penrith. I'm going to go visit Penrith.
He's shipping him.
He was the one who was going to be sending my gold off, or my platinum off.
You talked to Xanacrest about that, and he was going to say Penrith was going to take care of it.
So I'm going to go ask him if he sold it yet, if I can find him.
You can. You'd probably find them at the. It's not that the library's not that far away, so you can certainly. That would be the place to start looking. Not 100% sure he's there, but that would be the place to start looking. So
that's where I'll head then.
All right. Takes all of 5 minutes as you just kind of heading across the walkway over to the Abdelves in that tower, and just kind of you go in there. There's a different Dragonborn working the reception kind of spot than as you guys had previously, and it's a male, smaller for a Dragonborn, but still, thing, bronze scaled, and has the kind of adornment robes that you've seen on most of the kind of members of the library staff or order, however you want to define it, where it's kind of like Panther's robes, but just very much simpler and much less adorned, and his are all fancy. And you're assuming this one doesn't make you levitate, so he just kind of looks up at you and he goes, good morning.
Good morning, Professor. Is Penrith around?
No, I think he went home to sleep. I know he was here all night with the dwarf and the one with the dude that's.
Dude,
I know he's a hero of the city and everything, but what's the deal with the guy in the black robe and the hood? Is he normal?
To define normal, please.
Well, I don't know many humans. No offense, I don't know many elves either, but he's strange, right?
Yeah, well, besides him, losing some of his clothes, that got burnt off recently.
Yes.
And it was the robe that he got buried in when he died. So, it's
It just gives you this really confused look. When he died.
Yeah.
Right. Penrith is not here, so I can certainly tell him you came by looking for him whenever he...
Could I give you something in a note?
Absolutely.
That you could pass on to him?
Sure. Certainly.
Yes, I'm going to rephrase my note to address... I got their names.
I got them.
Okay. Well, to keep things going, then you know the name.
Talking about your fisherman buddy?
Yep, exactly.
Mason and Darnold?
Yeah, I'm going to address them. Could you replace the note that I gave him with this note? And it's going to be more direction. Please use this money to overthrow the vampire queen. Try building mercenaries, and I will come to help when I can.
Okay.
And as a token of my
graces,
here is this attached bag of coffee.
They don't know what the fuck coffee is, so that's awesome.
You brew it, and I'll write instructions.
Yeah. You brew it like tea, kind of. You grind it into you're basically you don't know exactly how coffee's made because you've only seen it done a couple of times.
Yeah, get some idea.
But you get the idea. You get the idea. Yeah. You've been to Chents a couple of times, so you're just like, okay, there's just clearly some. You do something with the thing, and it's not that dissimilar from tea, and it's there's just the way that then you strain it, and it's a thing. Yeah. So, but you he's just sitting. He's not reading your note or everything, but he's just kind of watching you make this long scribbling thing, and then a thing, and then okay, you make coffee like this, and you do something like this, and just I said a replacement for. Will he know what this is a replacement to?
He will, because I am sending a shipment via the teleportation.
Okay, I imagine that.
And there was a note attached, and I just want him to replace that note with this note.
This is a note. Okay, I will make sure that happens when he arrives.
Thank you, sir. I would give you money, but I am broke.
No, that's not necessary. I mean...
Lies!
Well, he is now. It's not a lie anymore.
You weren't here. I gave all my money.
Oh, she doesn't... Yeah. He's sending a package back to the fisherman buddies that escorted you guys around in Calabask.
Okay.
It's 9 platinum bars and the thing, so it's that's pretty money. So...
And they were at first going, well, they're just going to run off and be wealthy. And I'm like, well, that's not kind of where I wanted that to go.
Well, you have no idea what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. So, but it's much more specific this time.
That's why I thought, well, maybe,
let's
a vampire queen sucking people's blood dry. Citizens in the realm and forcing people into gladiator fights.
Yeah.
It's time to
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. We'll see what happens. So,
it's
but he's the kind of receptionist clerk, if you would, just kind of he takes a note and he just bids you a good time and goes there. little bit of time goes by. You have time to do that, and then circle back to wherever you're going. Jay, you have time to walk the city a little bit. It's a thing to especially this time of day. Now that it's probably closer to 7-8 o'clock in the morning, where full hustle and bustle as everybody's leaving their home and going to wherever their place of business is. As people start to put together places of businesses again.
No.
So it's a little bit organized chaos, as everyone kind of saying, especially down the main paths through each of the segments. But it's a it's that thing where all of a sudden it's a lively, vibrant city. But you take a little bit of time to do that before kind of circling back around. As you kind of collectively, you get back and I don't know, a little bit of time passes and Elves off to make your way back. As you two kind of return to HQ, you can see that Yoshida is back. He's got he's standing in the middle, kind of this bottom floor, which is just kind of a big open room at this point, and there's all the beds that are kind of stacked in there for you guys. He's just kind of standing there in the middle of the room, and you can see he's looking down at a note that's in his hand. And he seems to look fairly concerned as he's reading it, and he kind of you can see, as the two of you kind of walk into the room, and he kind of looks at both of you, and you can see that both Maman and Dogma are now awake. And he just kind of hands it to you. And you can see it is a handwritten note. Actually, sorry, he hands it to you.
Oh, nice.
It's like, sweet, somebody gave me something.
I was just saying, he's finally warming up to me. He always
You can see
best friend.
and you can see it's a letter.
Oh, jeez.
And it's addressed to Yoshida and you. And it says, "Sorry for this, but I have to figure this out for myself.
Oh, okay.
I will return when I have completed my task." And it's signed Solas.
Mm-hmm.
And Yoshida just kind of gives you a stare, like, "You have no idea anything about this?"
I know nothing. Didn't you sense something different about him? It seemed like you did, but you just really couldn't place your finger on it. Yes.
I had talked to Xanacrest about this just now. I'm concerned.
Did he take the mask with them? Anybody seen the mask lying around?
Dogma, can you message Xanacrest and see if they had left yet? You see this kind of horrible kind of realization about everybody what's going on. You see Dogma just bring up and cast the thing and just kind of... And then... you see Dogma, Xanacrest said they left about a half hour ago.
Does he have communication with them?
Do you want me to just message Solas?
I was thinking Xanacrest.
That's who I just messaged.
Can you message him again? Because they have... Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Guess, never mind.
I don't have that many spell slots left.
I wasn't there when she had the little earring thing that could
You have no idea.
So I
You don't
backed
know.
off on that one.
You're the only one who maybe
Yep.
knows. And even you don't, So, because, she was...
I'll immediately show the note to Jay.
see the same thing.
That complicates things.
See Maman just kind of guys, and just kind of holds up a ball bearing.
Oh,
That was in my backpack.
not a good sign.
Backpack.
People, I would check.
That was underneath my pillow.
Oh.
You see Dogma kind of just reach underneath his, pull one out. You guys all have this moment of, oh shit.
Did you normally leave them when he's gonna kill you?
No, necessarily.
Or steal something from you.
Everybody check their bags. Make sure nothing's missing.
Find Xanagrass. Tell him to check for the book and the sword.
Yeah, you see, like, Yoshida is... We're going to assume Yoshida has a message prepared. But just kind of... yeah. Yoshida, just kind of seemed like... Thing, and then... Just comes back. No, they're still there. Xanacrest just looked. I mean, I was just with him, so...
Tell him to double security.
I think we should go.
Search for him.
He's already out of the city.
If he doesn't want to be found, he won't be found.
Especially if he's got the mask.
We don't even know what that thing does.
And we need that artifact for our quest.
We need to make sure that the ones we
let's
have
go.
are protected.
I think we should all. I think it's time to get up, boys, and I think we need to go talk to Xanacrest now.
Is that Yoshida?
Yeah,
Okay.
Agreed.
that's my Yoshida.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys all. You see, like, as that's saying, you can see Dogma just kind of, like, looking through all of his random stuff, making sure the bag of holding's still there and everything, and just kind of... I think he took my coffee.
Wah wah.
Well, he didn't like coffee, didn't he?
Yeah.
You got away this time, Ruth.
Yeah. What happened? So you guys all kind of, like, with a bit of an extra pace, and you can almost see, like, where the way you had noticed off in the distance that there were guards at the tower that were kind of casually around. Now that it seems like attention, there hasn't been necessarily an alarm put out, but you can see, like, something clearly is happening because, you know, stuff as you guys kind of make your way over. And make your way to the main tower, take the elevator up to where Xanacrest is, and you see Baruth is already there. And as you guys kind of, you know, you let yourself in. You guys know where you're going, and you can see him as he comes into you come into Xanacrest's chamber. He's sitting there and he's talking to Baruth, and he's just like, "How long ago did they leave?" It's like, about 40 minutes now. What are we worried about exactly? And you see, like, Xanacrest notices you all as you kind of come in. He just kind of goes, "What happened?"
His god.
Is he?
His god spoke to him.
Damn it, why did we...
We have a dragon.
See him kind of just...
He can move faster.
There's Ash, can you hear me? She's out of range. Ruth, get a unit together. Exact same path that Ash was taking. Now. You see him just kind of... He doesn't even say anything. Bruce just kind of, like, starts making his way towards the elevator at a brisk pace.
One note, I fear for your companions. If he is truly leaving, he won't leave witnesses.
Well, unless he didn't take those with him. So you think he's leaving for sure?
He's
He
gone.
left a note.
He's gone.
And ball bearings, which is a telltale sign.
Just kind of see him go over at a counter and just kind of... Is that why I have this? He's got one in his hand.
Oh, not a good sign.
Seems he's been here.
Actually, no, this is from a while ago. I just thought it just randomly got in here somehow.
You had a visitor.
Yeah. Well, I didn't take anything.
That you know of.
Said you left a note.
He did.
Can I see it?
Hello.
Well, you handed
No,
it to him and
Right. Note received.
Yeah.
Look good.
That's funny.
Well, stuff. Kind of hands it back to Yoshida. You probably knew him best of all. Is that fair to say?
He's half elf. He is not truly an elf, but he does have that evil human side of him.
Like how you picked the human side to
Yeah,
be
of
the
course you
evil
did.
one. As if there's never been an evil elf.
It's on brand. I mean, so here it goes. I had a chance to talk with him during the festival. I don't think he's an evil man.
I think he struggles between the good elf half and the not so good human side, but
I think his god is influencing him heavily at this point.
It's you see him just kind of lock eyes with Yoshida as they both kind of start nodding their head. We were just talking about this.
he did mention he's just had a
He did.
vision with his god.
See him just kind of like cross his eyes. You guys have talked to Xanacrus plenty of times. He's never seemed to have been this kind of frustrated, even when things were bad before. He always seemed to carry himself with a certain amount of
Authority
and grace, and just kind of not overreacting to situations. He looks genuinely pissed off, which you guys have, not really seen as much out of him, and just kind of crosses his arm and walks around for a second. It's just, hero of this city or not, if he harms any of my people, I don't pretend to think he is involved with any of you. I certainly believe he acted on his own, but hero or not.
He might just give him the slip too. He is very... I can't see him actually purposely trying to kill anyone that has helped him. That is not an enemy of his. But there is the chance.
But if he's influenced by that thing, I suppose we have nothing but to do but to wait.
prayers Ash will be alright.
Could you not fly? You could cover a lot more ground than he can run. And at least make sure your people are alright. Can you communicate with them after a certain...
Ours Ash is already
distance?
out of range. I don't wish to be lured in some kind of trap.
Can you carry people?
Yes. But this is a champion of a trickster god himself. Perhaps getting me to leave this room is exactly what he wanted me to do.
That is true, but you do have the Sacred Six with you. Get it? Sacred Six.
No, just mark one down off the list. Chance to have to get a new sign. So,
Serve the sacred
yeah,
That is true, but for the safety of your own people. And with us, there wouldn't be a trap if we were with them. Do you not have... You have trustworthy people that you could have watch things while we are gone.
kind of see him eye the book. And just look over the general of the both and just...
So you would never be able to leave this room again? Is what
Make
you're
a
saying?
persuasion check.
Purples are good.
Yep.
Natural 20. God, I like purples. If you want the full amount, I can.
No, it's. I mean, honestly, actually, I do need the full amount. He's pretty strong.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna 1,000-year-old dragon.
I was gonna say he's pretty, pretty set and pretty stoic when it comes to influence himself. So,
It'd be just a natural 20.
all right, no bonus for persuasion.
No, that's not one of my. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's a natural 20, still a natural 20, but he just kind of. Ruth, once you have those gods sent, return to my chambers.
Normally, I wouldn't agree with Elstoff in doing anything so rash, but I think it's important that he be found, and quickly.
Agreed.
I'm not rash. It's a brilliant idea.
This may be a very, very odd question, but have either of you ridden a dragon before?
Never.
Seems to be a day for everything. He starts making his way towards the balcony.
There was that time back when I was a youth.
There was that one time at band camp. I'm entrusting the rest of you. Yoshida. You just kind of see him and then exchange a look, and Yoshida's like got this. Yoshida's pretty stoic himself most of the time, but he's just got the same look of, I've just been duped.
Yeah.
And he's not happy about it. He's kind of, it's not getting past me.
Yeah, the whole let's keep the mask here and
Yeah.
let's test it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I assume you want to come? Yes?
I do.
All right. Well, just kind of goes out to the balcony. It's going to be a whole swing back around kind of thing, so just wait a minute. You just see him just kind of hops off the balcony and just his form switches from the dragonborn that you usually talk to his full-blown ancient dragon form. Kind of takes one kind of circle around the tower to kind of just get himself centered a little bit, and then you see him kind of poke his head back up. And just, head's about as big as the two of you easily. Just kind of, all right, hop on. Just kind of leans as close as he can into you and just it's still a heck of a jump.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not hanging on and letting you just kind of hop up. He's still flying. So, what you guys doing?
Moving target.
Yeah.
Is like everybody jumping on, or
It's
is
just you two.
Oh, I thought the whole clan was coming with us.
No, everybody else staying behind.
Do we have to make a dexterity check or anything?
Probably. It depends on if you're going to jump on this damn dragon or not.
Yeah.
Can we climb on, or do we have to
acro?
jump?
He's a ancient dragon, and he's got a gigantic wingspan. He can't just kind of curl up next to the side of this with any kind of force, because he's just going...
Is this athletic or acro?
You jumping?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and do it. This is going to be an acro to hit your landing.
Yeah, that's not good. Not a 1.
Not a 1, but...
7.
Alright. How's off doing the same?
Yeah. Can Gru do the same?
You're coming with too?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Alright, he's got claws.
He can grab
punch
one.
on here.
Yeah,
Here's me.
Santa is going to be real
Oh.
excited about that.
Natural 1 for me.
Crying out loud, you two. Alright, well,
Both of us are
roll for Gru as well.
What did you get?
2.
What's your total?
7.
But I am very dexterous.
I was going to say acro check. So.
I'm not super. I mean, I'm more
Yeah,
dexterous than anything else, but
I'm not proficient
no,
in acrobatics,
no, I'm
but
not either.
dexterity is my top. I do have a +5 dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
Gru got a 6.
Oh, God, you guys.
It's a
but
flying dragon we're jumping on.
I know.
Moving target.
I know. It's
Drew's
just funny.
dexterity is a +3, so he got like a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey, you know what?
As the adrenaline hits both of you
I have
guys, as you're
slow fall if that's the case.
okay. Yeah. So which slow fall does what for you?
Can't the dragon just take us in his
Use
mouth
reaction
and-
to reduce falling damage by 5 times my
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. So yeah, you almost got feather fall.
Yeah.
So as the two of you are just like have the like, and Gru kind of comes up behind you because he's not missing
full
out
health
on this
again.
BS. You guys kind of just like, and just like that adrenaline surge goes, I'm gonna jump onto a dragon. You guys both want to kind of almost like don't set your landing, or maybe you thought there was going to be cushion, at, like as you're like when you're hopping on a horse or something, any kind of like mammal like that, where there's just like a little bit of resistance when you hit something, and it's a little bit of a padding. You're basically bouncing off of like a hardened dragon scale that has no give whatsoever. So you both kind of just go to land and maybe like try to set a point for your thing, and you just kind of almost bounce like. Josh is en route.
oh, sweet.
Bounce like and then start to kind of grab on to stuff as you kind of go, but individually, one at a time. You guys just kind of still like fall off the side of him. You hear it as you guys hit kind of free fall. You hear an audible sigh that kind of echoes the whole area as he goes. And you just feel like as you guys are free falling, you just feel like claws come out and grab onto each of you. And like he has to get like you and Gru in one swing.
Oh,
so
Gru
you guys,
didn't land it.
no, Gru didn't land on him either.
Okay.
You know? Not a high DC, but if you roll under it,
Because I think that would be cool as heck. Gru's up there.
it would have been great, except for the part where you guys all rolled like
the sigh we
absolute crap.
heard. The sigh we heard was Gru's.
So as you just kind of sweeps in, he's got you in like in the left leg claw basically, and he's got you. You want to grab old Zeno out of the cabinet behind you?
Oh shit.
I see what you're doing. Yeah, Garuthos.
Garuthos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of got
nice,
just because.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, not the easiest target to land on. Don't get me wrong.
Once we ever show on YouTube, this would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Except for we probably won't have the pizzas all piled up.
Yeah. I mean, it does help the elevation a little
Or
bit.
will we?
Or will we? So he's basically like got you in his left hand, and he's got the two of you in his right, and he's just sets you on his like up on his neck in a place, and he's like, now try to hang on. And you see he's kind of like switched from hover mode to speed mode, and just. And you guys legitly, actually, you know what? Go ahead and make strength checks, all three of you, as you guys hang on for dear life.
Which one's that
suggested this
again?
ride?
Acro again? Or is that athletics?
Stealth and strength. Right?
Strength, just straight strength check.
Oh, okay.
This is me.
Yep.
22.
Okay.
Or actually, yeah, 22.
Mm-hmm.
12!
Okay. And for group?
And for Drew, he's got a 12.
All right.
Oh, but with
Plus.
he gets my
You get your
proficiency.
proficiency,
Yeah, so he actually's got a 16.
16. All right. Go.
I got to remember that.
You know, Elzaph being of your kind of ranger background and knowing now that you kind of got a handle for this on how is this thing, you kind of settle into a place where you got a good grip and you're kind of just riding out the surges as he just kind of does this in the air a little bit. Gru is having a little bit more of a struggle where you can see him, he's just got like claws digged in all four of them, and he's just kind of got this, and you can see he's got him almost like kind of layered into like one, like a couple of actual big old dragon skills. He's got just kind of like a couple of claw grips underneath. You are like almost got like you got like one hand on one, and you got another, and you're kind of like just one leg's flying up in the air, and you're just it's an adventure, but none of you fall off as he's coasting through the air, and it's that thing where he heads straight, like basically heads to the front, the main gate, the black gate, and just keeps going in that direction. And if you kind of remember from before when they were discussing this plan of kind of testing, it was just walk in a straight line and see how far out you get before something happens. It doesn't take very long for you guys to fly and kind of make ground on this, because you're basically, you're an airplane chasing people on foot.
Right.
So maybe 5 minutes go by, and you can see quite clearly, because you're in this bigger open part of the Underdark cave, where you can see a group of 6 or 7 humanoid-looking figures straight up ahead. Xenocrest just kind of does a hard bank, hard land into the ground. Just kind of lowers down a little bit. At end of the run. You can hop off now. Just kind of. You see Gru's still kind of like, didn't sign up for this.
Retract claws.
As you guys are kind of almost like the adrenaline, just like you don't have enough time to register that you come to a stop and a halt, and because you're still kind of like.
Yeah.
The way like the ride ends, but you still have a little bit of movement in your own head as it's kind of going, and then you feel like this warming magical energy kind of around your legs and where you're hanging onto, and it starts to kind of bright glow all around and across his body, and then all of a sudden you don't have any dragon that you're standing on anymore, and you guys just fall 5 feet onto the ground.
Yeah.
And you can see Xenocrest's standard dragonborn humanoid form just kind of in its place. As you pick yourselves up off the ground and kind of look around, you can see a very confused and agitated Arzash. Perfectly fine. Looks perfectly fine. Just kind of looking around, just kind of like scratching the top of her head, and just got one of these kind of looks going as you guys all approach. The other, you can see another smattering of the humanoids you had spotted from the air were other dragonborn guards that are just kind of all like searching the area and looking about, and they seem to be fanning out and kind of doing a thing, and just you see Arzash come right up over to Xenocrest. I don't know where he went, what he did. He was with us perfectly fine. I did as you asked. I kept him in front of me, hand at the ready in case anything happened. And let's see, however, and she kind of points her hand back a little bit back towards the city, and just kind of maybe 5-10 minutes ago, as we walked along here, his mask began to activate and coalesce, and then there was this cloak of dark energy, and before I had any time to react or do anything or even ask what was going on, he was not standing there. And then there was another dragonborn standing next to me, but I know everyone here, so I know that wasn't him. Or that wasn't one of mine, and that was him. So I grabbed him and asked him what the hell he thinks he was doing, and then he disappeared out of my hand. And I lost my grip on him. And then he was over there. And then he was over there. And then that was it. And then he wasn't over there. And she just kind of like, you see her start to kind of like almost take a knee and very, I did something wrong, and like, get up, Arzash. It's fine. It was stupid of me to send him here. I'm glad you're alright, but I should have seen this coming. Well, could be anywhere now.
We have our answer. good or not, he's influenced by something that
well.
isn't.
Ash, I want you to return to the city, mark off the exact point on which you saw the masks come, and then count the foot paces back to the city. And then estimate the distance from my tower, and then let me know so we can at least get something out of this fiasco. I will see the rest of you back at my tower. And you see him just kind of back into full-on Dragonborn. Doesn't wait for you or anything like that, and just kind of
I wasn't expecting you
takes
would.
off. Starts making his way right back towards the city. Ash just kind of
He's still gonna leave tracks. He can't fly.
well, you're happy to look around and see if you can pick up his trap.
Me and Gru will do that.
Alright, for it.
I'm trying to look if I have advantage. I mean, this is what I do for a living. But I was.
Is it your favorite territory?
Well, it's not one of my favorite territories.
So that there's that. So it's Underdark. It's not forest or mountain. So if you were in your favorite terrain, you would definitely have advantage on doing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Underdark is not favorite terrain.
Yeah, I know I got something about tracking just in general.
Okay.
Sure. I can see that.
I mean, I am a freaking ranger.
It is what you do. Yeah, and I know. And Gru for sure does have advantage on perceptions. So this would be more of an investigation, and you're welcome to help as well.
I'm not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could assist me.
So,
I suppose.
That would be awesome. I think you're not looking right. Look a little bit more to the left.
yeah.
You missed a spot.
Yeah, help like a good person, not like a Salas help. You just mess it all up. So yeah, if you guys want to,
Well, without me reading a bunch, I swear I had something, but
it's gonna
because
be
in the old, it's funny. The ranger in the past, in advanced D&D, actually, that was his thing, was tracking.
Well, and again, that's what the whole point of favorite terrain is that you're not going to you can't track that well through every terrain type on the planet, but stuff you're good at, you're going to be good at. Unfortunately, this is not a spot you're good at. So, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage because Jay is helping.
Was it
Okay.
be survival?
This is going to be, well,
It'd be in investigation's fine.
yeah.
I
For
see.
this
Actually,
specific,
survival would be better.
go ahead and use survival then.
It's just a +6.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit of each.
I mean,
It's
I
not-
guess, or nature. I don't know.
No, it's definitely one or the other. So go ahead and make a survival with
Nature's a
advantage.
+4, +6 is a. Okay, this is me.
I have a 19, so.
Oh, you already rolled for me?
You're just giving him assistance. You're not actually rolling.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, darn. I'd take her 19.
Yeah. Said assisting for advantage.
I mean, that was my
Everyone-
total.
Yeah.
So I got 17, actually.
Okay.
And Gru's gonna do. Does he get advantage?
He gets advantage on perception stuff. So for this, not as much.
No?
So because he gets advantage on perception checks. This is tracking.
Oh, that's right. We're not doing perception.
Yeah. Tracking's a little bit different than just looking for things that are in front of you. So.
I don't even know what he would have for tracking.
Well, it'd be if he isn't skilled in it, he would just be his wisdom modifier.
15, but is that...
Plus your proficiency.
Yeah, so he gets 19.
Hmm. So, as you guys are kind of scouring the general area in which actually this all happened, you see as you guys kind of like do the reenactment in your head a little bit of he was here and then he was this and then he was over there and he's over there. You guys kind of look at the over there and the over there. You don't find any tracks that go from one spot to the other. You do find footprints and like almost like not walking, just standing footprints.
Yeah.
Where it looked like he was like somebody had stood here, but as far as
getting there.
Getting there and finding trails along as he bounced around on his way out, you do not see any. Collectively, the guards all come up with the same assertion as you guys all pointed out, and it's just, between the group of you all sitting there, you guys can kind of piece together that he didn't turn invisible and walk over to this spot, which is more consistent with what Arzasha said, as he was just here and then there. Feels much more like teleportation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's all you guys can find.
You can teleport now?
Poof.
Holy
What do you need? Poof. What do you need?
Yeah. So, after a little bit of time goes by, Narzash says, well, nothing more we can do here, I suppose. Where would he go?
Oh, he has advantage on wisdom.
Wisdom perception.
Yeah, checks that rely on smell.
Yeah.
He couldn't smell the guy. He would know what he smells like.
I don't know what he smells like, so, but that's a perception for smell, so. Investigation's a little bit different. And tracking is a little bit different, but I mean, yeah.
Here or there.
Is it wisdom checks that rely on smell?
That's what it says.
Alright, go ahead.
Panther has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell.
So it is specific perception checks. This is different.
Yep.
So
if he was smelling something, he would.
Or if he was trying to perceive something, it's a little bit different than trying to piece together the puzzle and between tracking and investigating locations. But if he was like looking for something that was hidden prey, yeah, he would definitely be able to smell something. So Arzash takes a couple of as you guys finish up and go and look around, and everyone kind of double checking each other's work and doing the same thing. But I have orders, so I'm going to. Everyone, let's head back, and I will start counting. Well, just kind of looks over at you and says, "At least I can't get demoted again."
It wasn't your fault.
No, it's your fault.
Just kind of, not impolitely or anything, but she just kind of turns and starts gathering up the squad and starting heading back towards the city. So, what are you guys doing?
Follow along.
Yeah, we're not supposed to fight Solas. No. Us two would be going off and this whole thing.
I mean, you could.
No.
But
we got to get back to our group because
we got no
users.
idea where you've got the spots that she saw him, and you can find basically footprints that, as if someone had stepped there and almost landed there. But as far as a trail to follow after that, you got nothing.
Yeah.
Just a direction, and we could just be lost in the.
And even that, he didn't you didn't. It wasn't like he was bouncing away Nightcrawler style in a certain direction. He was here, and then he was over there, and he was over there, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, is God grabbed him up and put him in a different spot.
Could not even be here. He might not even be on this plane of existence.
Exactly,
you guys have no idea.
Yep.
So.
No, and we got magic users that can do better tracking if we had to.
If you have to. So.
Yeah, our skills are not suited for this. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. We need more than just two of us.
Do not question my ranger skills.
Yeah, well, I mean, tracking teleportation is a bit of a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Still, I am kind of embarrassed.
Pretty sure there's a whole bunch of people with egg on their face at the moment. So. But. I'm going to do. So you guys take it takes about an hour or so for you guys to
get back.
Walk your way back. You kind of see the point where Arzash has this point of basically stopping. It's almost right away because it feels like that this happened and then they just started things started happening and they started getting into a thing. And that's where it is. And then you see her just deliberately pace walking in a certain cadence all the way back to the city. It was kind of.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't kill any of you.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
you never know nowadays.
Just kind of listen at you. This is not exactly what I meant. But
Certainly not.
well, all right. Well, I have Xanacrest to report to. Feel free to come with.
I think that's our direction as well.
Yes. Right. Men, carry on your business. Check in with Baruth. See if there's any further instructions. And the four of you make your way back to the tower, up to see where Xanacrest is, and you can see that he's already been, he's been back for a while, and the guys are all in a kind of a conversation about it. And you guys as you guys all kind of come in, and it's the rest of your party minus one, and Xanacrest up there, nobody else, and just kind of. Yeah, there's just all this look of everybody just kind of having this "what the hell are we supposed to do now" kind of thing. Everyone has got the permanent shrug shoulder act going, and just you guys kind of walk into it going, well, and Xanacrest is going, hopefully the influence you all provided him is enough.
We can hope.
He will at least do what's right.
It is a god he's fighting against.
You gotta remember that whole torture thing he was into too. I'm not saying he's the kindest, nice guy.
I have not surrendered this by any stretch of the imagination. Bannerith and I will have a conversation here shortly. And, we have, as you know, extremely powerful magical casters at our disposal, outside of course, yourselves, but I will see, but,
Trinity's like, what about me?
yeah.
Oh, Pewee, did you fart? You little monster.
Or took a crap.
Probably.
Ooh, Pewee.
Yeah, let's make sure we get that on the podcast. So, collectively, you guys are all now with Xanacrest and says, well, I guess what is the next step? It could be anywhere. But you still have business to attend to?
We need to know what's going on with the Quellstone, and we need to find the other item that we know is still out there.
And to that end, where would you go? Information is what you seek.
Yes.
And from what, and he just kind of motions to Dogma and Maman, from what they have told me, that my libraries are lacking. Which just means I need more books. But if you all would excuse me, I would like a moment to myself.
I would like to mention, you did ask me earlier about, what character he was, and as far as I can tell, Solas has a good purpose and high morals. I think if he is on something, he's doing it for the benefit of everyone.
How much do you know about his past?
He was royalty, came from a royal family, from elves, which is a high standing and
Yes.
high standard.
His father was Elven,
Yes.
head of a house.
So I believe, again, he has a good, proper
I
upbringing.
can tell you what happened to his father.
Do you know his father?
No. But I had a conversation with him about his family.
Please, share.
Normally it would not be my place to divulge, but given the circumstances. His whole family, including himself, were killed by some Imperial force general, commander, something to that effect.
Dwarfs?
Human.
Oh,
Maybe elvish, not sure.
okay.
But they poisoned his entire family with poison specific to elves. And because of his evil human side, he survived. And he was given basically the grace of his patron is what gave him the strength to rise again. And he's been on a quest of revenge ever since. I truly do believe, perhaps foolishly at his core, he is a good person. But
I may jest about his human side and his elven side, but
it is. But
he has never led me to believe anything else but good intentions
But
towards the party.
vengeance can twist a person. He's been on this path for a considerable time.
And now he's under the influence of his own god.
But I also have my vengeance that I am seeking. I can relate to him.
That's
But I would not sway me into betraying my friends.
Agreed. Obviously, and he just kind of generally looks in the direction of Dogma. I could have burned Malagar to the ground. But I've seen enough violence in my time. And usually, with most acts of vengeance, innocent people get hurt.
But on that note, were they not capturing your people and putting
Yes,
them in slavery? Are they not getting hurt?
they are, but judging an entire species for the actions of a few is very dangerous. And I will not become that. Sorry, if there's nothing else, I would like a moment.
Of course.
We will check in. I will get Penrith. I will talk to Vith. We will put some. Maybe we can track him, but just wherever you plan to be careful. Even if you find him again, he may not be himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he may be himself, but not the person you know. Power is a corrupting thing.
Mm-hmm.
We will chat later, please. He's kind of motions for the exit.
Get out.
Politely.
Get out. Jeez.
So you guys all kind of have this gathered moment in the elevator.
Probably a whole
On
lot of
your way
silence
down.
and staring at each other.
Again, I cannot believe that he has any ill towards the group itself. This is not Solas. From the Solas I know.
I'm not so sure.
Yoshida just kind of speaks up quietly at first, but he just kind of like almost in a breaking the silence kind of a way. But it's just kind of. I communed with Caritas yesterday. The first thing I asked him was if Solas could be trusted. Got a very emphatic no.
Again, I do not believe that. He is elven.
He's half elven.
He is still half elf. from a noble family. He would not betray us. I will not hear of this.
Elsdorf, do you know the difference between someone who devotes themselves to a particular cause and a particular deity, and those that just make a convenient deal with one?
I do not know the extent of his relationship with his god.
Neither did he.
I just know Solas. And dealt with him for off record.
It's been a month.
It's only been a month.
It's been enough. It's been 4 or 5.
Seems like years. It has been years.
That's been years.
I guess I really don't know him all that well.
You guys have been through a lot of stuff together for the last bit here, but in game time, not that long. So, but
I just never got the sense of him ever betraying us, and I'm going to hold that. As I would feel, you guys would feel the same towards me if I had to depart for some certain reason.
Well, we could never really know someone, but we can always hope for the best.
If Rajan called me, I would have to leave, and I would hope that you guys would not think it was ill tidings that I was bringing upon you.
You're just dumb as whiskey. I'm pretty sure you'd tell us if you were leaving, though. And not take, this nuclear weapon of a mask. I know nuclear weapons don't exist, but you got a point.
If Rajan had told me I needed to bring, let's say I got the bow of...
Whatever.
Yes. And he told me I needed to bring it, I would believe him 100% and know that he knows better than what I know. Now, his god is a trickster god, correct? Do you have any history on that, Yoshida? Is this a god of evil, or is this a god of good?
This is a god of selfishness.
That is not a good sign. I would still think that Solas has a strong enough will that he would do his own thing.
Gods have a powerful influence.
Longest elevator ride ever.
Right?
If we find him, we'll have to ask him.
Out of character.
Yeah.
I just realized that, I would have been standing by Solas' side. I would not be trying to throw him under the bus or anything.
No, I'm assuming you would, but it's just...
Because we were close, so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he literally wrote the note to the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I suppose we do have anything better to do but just move on. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't.
Well, we have no way of knowing where he went. Did not.
Well, our efforts will be wasted on trying to find someone who doesn't want to be found.
You're at Xanacris, so keep looking.
We were going to visit that tree. That tree has a lot of knowledge. Does he? Maybe he might know something more about this trickster god.
Maybe. Certainly an option.
If we know the intent of the god itself.
Said there was a war coming.
Is he the one starting the war? Or not maybe starting it, but maybe pushing it?
I don't know.
It's possible, but to what end?
And what kind of pond is Solas going to be in this? Tune in next time. Same bad time, same bad show.
And scene. No. So yeah, you guys collectively not having much of an idea of what you should do now per se. You kind of like within the city. You just kind of almost somewhat autopilot like wander back to HQ, gather your gear that you hadn't brought with you. Take a second to check through it and make sure everything's there. The only thing that appears to be missing is the coffee. Nothing else.
Highly suspicious.
It's yeah.
By the coffee being missing, he knew it was going to be a while he was going to be on the road, I think.
Yeah, it's a telltale sign.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're left to your guys' devices and whatever you want to do for your next step in this. As you guys are kind of all packing out, Yoshida does come over to you.
I was going to say, did Bob say if he actually wanted to be here when she does her
He
thing?
Yeah, we chatted.
We chatted. Wanted to make sure he talked to you about.
Yep.
So Yoshida pulls you aside when you guys are packing up. This may be. Things have changed since I was going to talk to you this morning about this. But I've been talking to my lord about you. And everything that's happened. What do you need? Is this an avenue you think you need to explore? You do have, and this is like almost as if he caught you as you're like repacking your bag and everything, and you have your book in your hand, and just kind of motions at it. That can't be a coincidence.
I don't think so. I don't know. What happened today definitely changes things.
It does and it doesn't. We still have a path to follow. We still need to figure out what the next step is in all of this. We still need information.
Spices.
So, if that's something you think is good, maybe we talk about it. All of us. We figure out if that's the next step.
I think it's only fair after what's just happened that we all discuss it as a group.
Agreed. So we kind of have that note in his hand. Just kind of he walks away. Goes back over to his gear. So.
Oh, that's not a good taste together.
The one that was left over from last week?
No,
God, I
no,
hope not.
no. No, but going from that one flavor to the
Yeah.
that was not.
That was a bad
that
decision.
Was very no.
No.
Wasn't expecting that.
So as you guys are all kind of relatively packing up your gear, the kind of like you hear kind of a voice from the floor above where it kind of more meets up with the library, and just kind of a hello, just kind of head peeks down. A bronze scale dragonborn in kind of library robes just kind of peeks his head over kind of this. It's just like this circular staircase that's in the middle, and to the point where you can see all of you. Elsdorf, you recognize him because you just talked to him not too long ago, and he's kind of Penrith sent me to come gather you. Apparently, something that needs to be discussed.
Sounds good.
I'd like to
Do it.
at your discretion, but just that they're talking now in the library. So
Very
Do it
well.
up.
just kind of pokes his head back away out of the thing.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. I did my job. I'm leaving.
Yep. Well, off to the library we go.
Yep. So you guys all just collectively gather up your gear, make any last preparations you may or may not have, and make your way over to the Admiraless, and almost to the thing where like you guys were almost pretty much ready to leave anyways. The page that had brought you here is like not that far out in front of you as you guys come right behind him. So he gets to the library a little bit ahead of you, and as he kind of gets back to his kind of desk area that's right before the big library section, he just kind of has moved to go, yes, right in the main library. You guys head in, and there's the library's got the normal kind of amount of hustle and bustle because now it's probably closer to 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. So there's the people going about and pulling books out of the shelves and doing a thing, but you can see in the middle of in the room where there's the kind of more of the research tables on the lower floor, you can see Penrith is there, floating about that far off the ground because Penrith. Arzash is there, Baruth is there, a slow, hunched-over, older-looking, black-scaled dragonborn woman is there, which you guys all recognize as Vith, who you haven't seen in a bit, is also there, and Xanacrus is also there. So basically, kind of the collection.
The gang's all here!
The gang's all here a little bit. Even Lejon is there, who you guys haven't had a chance to run into since you've been back. But like basically a summoning of the council, for lack of a better, in the library, and they just all kind of like they sent for you, so they're expecting you, and just you just kind of hear Penlarith's voice. Just, I'm sorry, my lord. It doesn't seem to be a way to do it. There must be some kind of blocking effect on it, and you just see this kind of low in voice just go, It's not something we can be able to tell through mystic means, unfortunately, my lord. And it just kind of... You see everyone's collectively got kind of this thing, and there's patterns that you guys kind of like, hello, Elf. I'm so terrible with names. I did the note exchange thing that you asked.
Thank you.
And it is on its way. I had that done right before. I figured I'd take care of that before anything else happened. So
I really appreciate that. I'm taking the time.
Yes, that was a heavy package.
It's necessary.
But I sent my best person, so it'll be fine.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Of course. So, but we were just having a,
good.
and he just he kind of just like doesn't so much step around the table. It's just kind of Magneto floats around the table and just kind of comes to the other side. So see, what we tried that, and we tried that. Like he's going through this checklist in his head. Your friend who, I was not able to scry for him in any way or contact him. The John said the same thing with the news in the that did not find him either. So either he's not on this particular plane of existence, or is some kind of that mask has some kind of masking effect, as it were. Sorry.
Penrith jokes.
Just trying to make one, but it's not the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is that. Unfortunately, I will continue trying, but it doesn't seem like he wants to be found.
Agreed.
Right, if that is all, my lord, I have books to put back. And yes, if you all any kind of motions that you guys when you are ready to go wherever you're going, if you need me to things, I mean I know the dwarf can do it as well, but I mean it's my circle, so I would.
It's my circle.
It's a particular thing. I'm just so just I'll be around, and you just like doesn't wait for much of a response, and just like Mary Poppins up to one of the shelves, carries on about his day, and just kind of. And Kristen looks at her and says, "Well, keep an eye out for him. But continue your journeys, I suppose." And we will we'll finish the tower soon. So at least there's that. That's definitely a dwarf.
How can you tell?
So,
Lumbering footsteps.
yeah. So, you guys are now kind of collectively, Birth kind of just gives you guys a nod. And just kind of just looks over. He's like, "Hey, been betrayed before myself. By my brother, no less, right? Just,
Like this is a betrayal.
keep your head up." Kind of goes away. There's Ash just kind of gives you kind of a look and just kind of good luck all of you. Wherever your path leads, just looks at you as she kind of says that, and then she kind of wanders off. Hi.
Oh, hey, what's happening?
Oh, I'm sorry, we killed the dwarf office. So,
Yeah, no,
so it's
sorry.
tragic. We don't have any food left at all. We ate it all.
Wow.
Every last bit.
Improvement.
Yeah, I see that.
6 pizzas. It was
Basically.
fantastic.
Nice. I'm
We-
impressed.
We each had a.
So,
Pizza and a half.
as you
dark
guys up,
Yeah.
we have a couple of quick questions.
42.
Or actually 2 pizzas, wasn't it? Did the math correctly? Yeah.
Where does Davma keep his coffee? The actual bag of beans.
On his person.
Okay.
On a belt.
Okay.
Drew.
No reason.
We'll explain, but we're tying up a plot hole, tying up a plot spot.
Everything I could have heard, that was the most unsettling question.
So, just to kind of catch you up from Daw's perspective, after you and Maman had returned from your kind of pulling your all-nighter,
Mrs. Yelling.
till done.
At least I'm pretty sure.
I heard so.